Hey, just like Rory McIlroy did when he won the Tour Championship, except without as much distance or accuracy. Hey, there's no question that Rory won the Tour Championship based on hitting long, straight drives. Statistically, we now know that golfers on TV, they win more money generally the faster they swing. There's a definite positive correlation there, which is even stronger for the average golfer watching at home. So the old adage, drive for show, putt for dough, really needs to be amended to say drive for dough, putt for dough. And the faster you can swing your driver, the lower your scores are gonna be. So right after this, let's talk about how you can teach yourself speed. It's really quite simple. You just gotta stay tuned. So my mentor, Mike Austin, who was a long drive legend and teaching legend, would always preach to us that getting the ball way out there or hitting the ball for more distance was not necessarily a function of strength or size, but rather supple quickness. And I find in my own personal lessons from day to day that I see a lot of golfers out there who just don't have supple quickness. They don't get a lot of speed, and they don't hit the ball as far as they want because they just can't figure out how to move the hands supply and quick. All right, so a great drill I like to show all of my students who aren't hitting the ball as far as they want, I can show them how they can teach themselves speed. Now I've got a couple of items here, a couple tools. I've got the speed whoosh, and I've got my RIP radar to measure the speed of my swings. That's going to give me some feedback, plus you have the audible feedback from the swoosh of this white ball, which I really like. This thing has kind of a flexy shaft, and that also teaches you how to kind of snap the club and let it kick in sequence. And that also, when learning that, tends to give you more speed. Now, both of these items, I've linked them down below. They're available in my shop. You can pick them up, and a lot of people that I've taught in person, they've gained 10, 15, even 20 miles an hour in 10 or 15 minutes just doing this exercise. It's really quite efficient. Now, what I find most golfers that I teach will do is they'll be too squeezy as they come down into the ball. It's like they're driving between two semi-trucks and their hands are gonna squeeze down on the wheel to try to keep great control over the car's direction. But really you can drive the car just as straight with just one finger on there, or one couple fingers on there very gently, and the car will drive itself straight. All that tension does not help you get more control over the direction of the car, nor the club either. So we're gonna get back to basics with a much, much softer grip pressure. Take it all the way down to 1. And what these golfers will do is they'll squeeze as they get into the impact zone, cause the club to slow down. They will not accelerate it, but they instead are effectively decelerating it. It looks something like this. So I'm really holding on for dear life there. Now that swing was 98 miles an hour. This time I'm going to swing with the same amount of effort. I'm going to swing about the same length of swing. The only difference is I'm going to accelerate the hands by snapping the wrist freely and supply and explosively. See what I can add. Okay, so I just took a half a swing again. Same amount of relative effort on a scale of 1 to 10. You see I jumped from 98 all the way up to 119. Now what's really interesting when I show this to students is, yeah, sure, they'll start gaining 1 and 2 miles an hour at a time as they start to slowly realize how to create more speed. Then all of a sudden they'll jump up 10. And I'll have already told them that they're going to jump up, and they don't believe me. Then all of a sudden they jump up 10 miles an hour, and first they don't know what they were doing. They're not really sure exactly what the difference was, but then they'll try to repeat the feeling again, like I will. Okay, 116 instead of 98. Again, you could even hear the sound of the swoosh is louder. The shaft was bending back and I kicked it at the right time while I whipped the club with supple, urgently explosive hands. Now, when they're able to learn how to lose control like this with the ball in the way, they're able to attain similar higher speeds with their driver. All right, so let's look at the difference in the same two moves with the actual driver itself. Here comes the squeeze and try to maintain control, which a lot of people don't realize they're doing. And of course, some people have been taught to try to hold the angle. They're taught that that's supposed to be magical, and of course that's causing the club to decelerate as well. So here comes the tight under control swing. Okay, so there's 93 miles an hour. I'm going to swing with the same relative effort, the same length of swing. I'm simply going to supply, urgently, explosively crack the hands, whip the hands like a supple bullwhip. Okay, so we went again up about 17 miles an hour there, 93 to 110. I'm not even trying to finish my backswing or follow through. I'm just trying to be extremely whippy, supple, explosive through the impact zone by changing what my hands are doing. Now, when you get this quality, you start to understand this quality, what it feels like, and to start trusting it. You're really going to start hitting the longest shots of your life. It's going to be a lot of fun really soon. Now let's see what the effect is if I complete my backswing and I give myself more runway to whip the club to an even higher speed. $119 and $118, not too bad. So I was able to jump up almost another 10 miles an hour by just simply finishing the swing, giving my handle a longer distance where I can apply accelerating, whipping force. Now it's really helpful to get feedback on how fast you're swinging on each swing. Even if you don't have one of these radars, whatever kind of radar or little device you can get, little portable launch monitor that they sell now, it's really, really helpful to get feedback on every swing when you're doing this exercise, so you start to teach yourself what speed feels like. At first, you won't know exactly what you did, but slowly your body will start getting cues or clues on feels on what you did differently in order to propel the club faster. You're not learning how to be stronger. You're not having to go to the weight room and do squats and deadlifts and bench presses like Rory does, but yet you're still able to pick up a lot more speed by learning the supple, explosive whipping quality to your swing. Hey, hopefully this tip will push you forward when it comes to getting the ball down the fairway. I know that's going to help you cut your strokes, get lower scores this coming year. Hey, thanks so much for watching. I'm Steve, and as usual, I'll either see you in the next video or I'll see you longer and straighter down the fairway. Everybody take good care.
Oh.